All right. New subject.
Okay.
But we're not going too far. I found a class that I did in 2021 that is on the next page in the Siddur.
Oh, okay.
It's not Leshem Yichud, which is right before Baruch She'amar. It's Mizmor LeToda, which is right after Baruch She'amar. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a little longer paragraph. And we'll try to understand it on a basic level and also on a more deeper level.
Oh, cool.
Psalm 100. Psalm 100?
Psalm 100,
Oh,
correct.
okay.
Mizmor LeToda. Anyways, there's a story. There was a pious Jew, a very learned Jew, that his whole house burned to the ground overnight. He was out of town, and the next day as he came back, he sees a pile of ash. That's what's left of his house. That's all that remained. He lifts his eyes towards Hashem and he says, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. And everybody who's there is expecting him to finish the bracha. Dayan ha'emet, the true judge,
Right.
which is what you have to say when something,
Somebody passed away.
or when something bad happens.
Oh, okay.
Nobody passed, the house passed away. But nobody passed away, thankfully. But he finished saying, Shelo asani goy,
Okay.
that you didn't make me into a non-Jew, or in this case, as we're going to see, he was trying to refer to an idolater. So everybody said, well, why you say this bracha? Why don't you say either not say anything, or say the bracha of Dayan Haemet? It says, if I would have been an idol worshiper, not only my house would be gone, my God would be gone too. Baruch Hashem, I'm a Jew. My house is gone, but I still have my God. My God is not made of wood and stone, and it's not, you don't get it.
I didn't follow that. What did one thing have to do with the other?
If he would have been an idolater, if your house burns down, your God burns down.
Yeah, but there, okay. What phrase did he use? Nosri or something? Or what?
No, Shelo asani goy.
Okay.
The bracha that we say in the morning.
I've seen in some siddurs it says nosri. I'll show it to you. Anyway, so go ahead.
Anyways,
Okay.
this is just a thankful story because we're about to embark on a thankful Tehillim. Right? Let's just read through it. Mizmor LeToda, a song of thanksgiving. Hariu LaHashem kol haaretz. Shout to Hashem all the earth. Ivdod Hashem besimcha, serve Hashem with joy. Bou lefanav birnana, come before him with praise. De'u ki Hashem hu Elokim, you have to know that Hashem is our God. Hu asanu velo anachnu, he made us and we are his. Amo v'tzon mar'ito, we're his people and the flock of his pasture. Bo shara betoda, come into his gates with thanksgiving. Chatzerota bidhila, into his courtyards with praise. Hodu lo barechu shemo, give thanks to him, bless his name. Ki tov Hashem le'olam chazdov, for Hashem is good, his kindness is forever. Ve'ador vador emunato, and until generation after generation is his faith. No. General feeling of the Tehillim is being thankful, right?
Yeah. Well, that's Sukkah de Simra. That's the whole idea behind it, right?
No. Sukkot Zimbra is you have to praise Hashem. Zimbra is to praise, but it starts with this. Obviously, thanking someone is also kind of praising him.
Right.
You're recognizing that you depend on him.
And that's also the 100th Psalm.
Yes, it's Tehillim number 100. Okay, now, the Alter Rebbe talks about this psalm in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, in the Code of Jewish Law that he updated when he published the Shulchan Aruch, and he said the following. This is, let me I wrote down where. Yeah, section 51, halacha 1. And so, Mizmor LeToda. We say Mizmor LeToda, says the Alter Rebbe, because in the time to come, all the songs of praise will be eliminated or abrogated with the exception of Mizmor LeToda. This is a quote from the Midrash. Did it work from here?
You open it or the guard? Because the guard again.
The guard came? Okay. I started pressing just in case. Okay, didn't work. So this comes from a Midrash. And this is also connected to, as we're going to see, the Toda offering. One of the sacrifices that exists, that we used to bring, you had this, the oila, the chatas, the asham, and another one is the Toda offering, the thanksgiving offering. And so the Alter Rebbe says, accordingly, because this is a song that's not going to be eliminated in the future, it should be prolonged melodiously. We should technically sing it with a lot of melody. And then he says, in these countries, although the note says this became a universal practice, it has become a custom not to say Mizmor LeToda on Shabbos and Yom Tov, because the Toda offering, the particular sacrifice of Toda, was not brought on Shabbos or Yom Tov. So because you cannot bring it on Shabbos and Yom Tov, then we don't say that Tehillim on Shabbos and Yom Tov, right? We say all Psukkah de Zimra on Shabbos and Yom Tov, but if you notice, we don't say Mizmor LeToda, we skip it. And we add Misvar Shir Yom HaShabbos and Hashem Malach Yud Lavesh, and we don't say Mizmor LeToda.
They didn't have Korbanos on Shabbos?
Yes, but not Mizmor, not the Toda offering. You could bring obligatory offerings that you had to bring, but not optional offerings. The guard is not there? Seb said he saw it. Just press button number 1. Okay, we have to say, be thankful when the guard is here. That way the class flows better. Yeah. The same throughout Pesach, we don't say Mizmor LeToda because we also didn't bring the Toda offering during Pesach. The reason was because the Torah offering had a chametz component. Besides for the actual sacrifice, you would bring breads. Most of them were actually not chametz, but some were chametz. So because you couldn't bring the whole Torah offering with the chametz, so during Pesach you would not bring the Torah offering. And you would also not do it the day before Pesach. Now, even though the day before Pesach you could technically still eat chametz for a few hours. Good morning, but they didn't want to, like usually you have like a day and a half to eat the Toda offering and its breads, and they didn't want to bring it and just have a limited time and then have to waste it. And so if you look at the Siddur, you see that Erev Pesach, no, this doesn't know. He doesn't have one?
You guys know?
I don't know. So the day before Pesach, we also don't do that. We also don't do it the day before Yom Kippur. Again, the day before Yom Kippur, we could eat the Toda offering, but because we couldn't eat it for the full day and a half, so we don't bring. If you look at the Siddur, it says no Erev Pesach, no Erev Yom Kippur, and not during Pesach. We do say it on Tisha B'Av because it was brought on Tisha B'Av if it needed to be brought on Tisha B'Av. Okay, so that is some. You don't have the clicker? Okay.
Somebody take it out of here? Jason said it would be in the...
I don't know. This is mine, but use it for the time being. So I did open that because he doesn't have a clicker. Okay. Multitasking. Why not? That's what we do all day. Okay, this is some halachic context on Mizmor LeToda. What's the time? Because I'm...
You have 10 minutes.
Okay. Now, let's keep giving some introductions to this Tehillim. They would also say this Tehillim in the Beit Hamikdash when people would bring a Toda offering. Now the Leviim would sing different Tehillims during the offerings, and when they would bring a Toda offering, they would sing this Tehillim. Now, why would somebody bring a Toda offering, a Thanksgiving offering? Just because, I don't know, he felt thankful that morning? You would bring the Thanksgiving offering for the same reasons, for the exact same reasons that today you say HaGomel. When people go up to the Torah and say HaGomel, the exact same reasons for saying HaGomel are the reasons to bring a Toda offering. So when you cross the sea, when you cross the desert, when you become healthy from a sickness, and when you get out of captivity or jail. Those are the reasons why you have to say HaGomel, and for why you would bring a Toda offering.
Dangerous event?
Not necessarily, again, there's different opinions, not necessarily dangerous event, but yes. These are very specific events. A different kind of dangerous event, ask your local rabbi if you need to say, you still need to be thankful, but you might not be obligated to bring or say HaGomel.
I've seen people do it, and then, where did he go? He didn't go anywhere, but he almost got hit by a car or something.
Yes, again, there's many laws of how, when, and when. Now, in the Messianic era, as we were kind of hinting at this before, when Moshiach comes, basically all the individual sacrifices will be obsolete, because you're not going to sin. Most of the sacrifices, because I did this, so now I have to bring a Korban Chatas, a Korban Hashem Talui, this, that. But the Korban Toda is not going to be eliminated. You can still be thankful. You didn't do anything wrong. This has nothing to do with doing something wrong.
The only one that will survive?
From the individual sacrifices, like that you can bring. There's going to be communal sacrifices that we still bring. Again, this is an opinion in the Midrash. And the Midrash also says the same thing the Alter Rebbe said, that all the davenings will be obsolete because we won't need anything. The main thrust of davening, we praise in order to get to the asking. But the part of saying thanks, that won't be eliminated. So that's just some interesting context on the concept of Toda. Okay, now the Gemara in Nida says the following. Amar Rav Elazar said, "My dichtiv, why is it written, Oseni flaot gedolot levado, ubaruch shem kevodo leolam? Who alone does wondrous things, blessed be his glorious name forever, etc." Why does it say this, the pasuk? So the Gemara says, "Afilu Baal Hanes enu makir beniso." It teaches that even one for whom the miracle was performed, many times doesn't recognize that a miracle was performed for him. That's why he says that he does niflaot levado, wondrous things by himself, in the sense that only he knows that he just did a wondrous thing, that he did a miracle. And so in this psalm, we're also thanking Hashem for all the miracles that are happening to us and that we didn't know that it happened. There might be a person who was almost hit by a car, but he didn't even realize it. He didn't see it. The car went by, he didn't realize it. Yeah?
Right.
There's many close calls that you might not realize that it was a close call. But Hashem knows it.
Yeah.
And part of the thankfulness that we need to have, we also mentioned this when we spoke about Moedim, the bracha of Moedim in the Amidah, is to be thankful for even what we don't know that has happened. Okay. Let's start diving more deeper into the text itself. analyze the text in a general way, and eventually we'll get to some Chassidus.
Okay.
Eventually, not today. So, Mizmor LeToda. That's the first phrase. We need to analyze the phrase Mizmor LeToda. So Rashi says, again, this psalm is connected to the Thanksgiving offering. And the Radak says that this psalm is also connected to Moshiach times, when all the nations are going to be praising and thanking Hashem. But we have to remember that Toda, the natural way of translating it, is thanksgiving, being thankful. But it's also connected to admission, admitting, just like moide, hoidu. Toida is the same word, right? You teach that to Duolingo.
Yeah. Yeah, similar sound, yeah, similar.
It's from Hoda.
Yeah.
Hoidu, moide, and Toida is basically the same. You're being thankful, you're recognizing what Hashem is doing for us. And so today and in the future we'll keep being thankful, right? Primero Dios. First Hashem, that's what he loves to say. Also, because even today and also in the future, we don't even come close to understanding Hashem himself and what he does. So we always have to do the act of moidim, of hoidu, of toida, of hoidu, of recognizing that we don't know, of recognizing that the truth that Hashem is everything and we are nothing. And yes, in the future, meaning when Moshiach comes, we'll understand this better. But you're never going to understand it to perfection. You can ever always understand it better, so you always will have to recognize Hashem is right. Even though I see this from my perspective and I see it in a limited way, the truth is Hashem sees it right. So you have to accept and admit that Hashem is right, right? You agree? It doesn't matter if you agree or not. Hashem is still right.
That's it. That's
You'll
it.
say whatever you want. Okay. So when we try to think deeply about the greatness of Hashem, which is a great thing to do, you're still doing it from your perspective. It's still a limited action. And when you are thinking about thanking, when you're just thanking, recognizing, accepting the greatness of Hashem, then it's not limited by your perspective. You're connecting to the limitless side of Hashem. Okay, we'll end with a story. Yes, we have 2 minutes, yeah?
Yes, correct.
We'll end with a story. Rav Pesach was a Chassid of the Alter Rebbe, and he was also a teacher of Chassidut for young married Bachrim. And he used to think deeply a lot about the greatness of Hashem and the oneness of Hashem and how Hashem is one, Hashem is everything, etc. How there's nothing outside of Hashem. And he was very good at making these concepts real, making their students feel like what he was teaching was real and right in front of them. And a lot of times people would end the class and he was talking about these concepts. Hashem is one, Hashem is the only thing, you don't exist. And they would finish the concept and they would start touching stuff. So making sure, yeah, is this real? Because I thought nothing was real. So like coming back to earth. And he gave once a very inspired class on a Friday night. And one of his students, young students, comes home to his wife. And he sits down, he's doing nothing. He says, "No, make Kiddush." He says, "Kiddush? What's Kiddush? What's a Kiddush cup? What's wine? There's nothing here. There's nothing." Anyways, they would really be able to get to a level, at least momentarily, where they could see the world from Hashem's perspective. Like the world didn't exist, just Hashem existed. But on a regular day, all we do is moide, toida, We accept Hashem's opinion that He is everything and we are nothing.
Everything's for good.
That's another concept, but yes.
Okay.
All right.